Hey guys, welcome back. As you will have noticed, we did finish the Final Fantasy 15 game. Yay! And it didn't struggle too much, I wouldn't say, compared to previous Final Fantasy games where it's just been absolute nightmare. You know, you have to face off against a boss multiple times. This was actually quite straightforward. I don't think I ever had to approach an enemy multiple times. For example, in 10, I think, you have to fight Seymour 3 separate times throughout the game, and each time I have to actually approach the battle multiple times in order to win because it's that hard. But this time I definitely felt like, even though it might have been a grind, I always thought it was possible to win these battles. So that was kind of nice. It's a nice change, I suppose. But anyway, what a game! I have to say it's definitely one of my favourites of the series. 10 is by far my clear favourite, as I may have mentioned several times. 15 is a serious contender with 12, I think. But I don't know. I guess the length of the plot is kind of what holds me back. The plot is actually quite short for 15. I guess I strung it out a bit with all the side quests I did, but really, you don't really go many places or do much for the main storyline, unlike in 10 and 12. I really thought that there was more to the game, that there would be more to the game. I thought there'd be heaps to do in Altissia, and then only to find out that you only explore like a tiny microscopic portion of the city. That was disappointing. And then when we were finally on our way to Gladio, the Empire, I thought, yay, this is a whole new land to discover. I mean, it's a freaking empire. Doesn't that mean it's huge? But no, they only allowed us into the main city. Well, actually, it wasn't even the city really, it was the flying mega fortress. We didn't do much in the city itself. I think we just sort of arrived, and then I lost Ignis and Gladiolus, and then I went into the mega fortress. So yeah, not much of the city itself. So yeah, I did think the game was going to be a lot longer than it actually was. So that's one thing that kind of puts it behind 12, I suppose. Actually, on that note, let's talk about the Royal Armoury and the Gods. I still can't get over the fact that it isn't compulsory to acquire all 13 weapons to finish the game. I mean, I only had 9, if you recall. God, I'm so lucky I stumbled on that extra tomb at Ravito, or I'd be on 8. 8 of 13, oh, that's disgusting. So the fact that was, the fact that I thought you had to get all 13, that was kind of misleading. I assumed that the plot would actually take us to all 13 weapons, so I didn't expect the game to end so quickly because I still thought I had to, acquire 4 more swords or weapons or whatever. Likewise with the gods, I knew we'd gotten the Titan's Blessing. I mean, that was hard to miss. But I didn't realise that when we followed, that lightning storm, that Gentiana told us to follow, I didn't realise that we'd actually acquired the blessing of another god. That was actually the summon I ended up using a few times because none of the others ever became available to me. I mean, seriously, what's up with that? A Final Fantasy game with barely any summons? I mean, whatever. Overall, I did find the second half of the game somewhat rushed. And that could be because of all of those reasons I just said, but also because there was nowhere to explore. The first half in Lucis seemed longer because there was so much to do, but there was nothing to do in Altissia and Gladio, so that could also have contributed to, I guess, a sense of rushedness? Yeah, rushedness is totally a word. You know what I mean. I would really have loved it if the second half was more drawn out, and especially that we got to explore Gladio. I really wanted to have fun in another country, and I seriously feel gypped. I feel like they've just strung me along and then just poof, gone like smoke. But anyway, could just be me. All that aside, I did enjoy the plot. It's certainly one of the darkest Final Fantasy games I've played. I like the whole, sacrifice thing, because it was part of 10, but this time they actually went through with it. But oh my god, the tears! You couldn't actually hear me when Luna died because I turned off the mic, but oh my god, I bawled. I cried so much. Yeah, so glad that I turned that mic off. It was so sad. I mean, I had a hard enough time when Tidus died in 10, or ceased to exist, or whatever he did. And now there's the double whammy with Luna and Noctis in 15. I mean, Square Enix, what are you doing to me? Do you enjoy my pool of tears? Would you like a jar of them? I can totally accommodate. I was confused for a good portion of the game about Arden. I mean, whether he was the king or the healer in the story, you will have noticed me because I said I was confused like the entire way through. Turns out, so Arden is the healer, BT dubs. So, I guess in my own words, the story goes, there was a healer who was blessed by the gods with the power to remove the Star Scourge, I think it was called. But the king at the time, so Noctis's great something grandfather, he condemned the healer, sort of deeming him a monster, and made him an outcast. This turned Arden pretty much into the monster he was like helping the world get rid of, and he vowed vengeance on the royal line. And actually, at the end of the game, he actually got his revenge, since Noctis had to, I guess, eliminate his ancestors in order to fully kill Arden. That's what happened in the crystal thing at the end, if you remember. So I am glad that I finally got that cleared up as to whether he was the king or the healer. So that was nice, I guess. And it just gave so much more depth to Arden's character. Like, I went through the whole game going, who are you? What are you? Why do you exist? Which is good, stringing me along, keeping me engaged by asking me questions. But yeah, the ending just sort of made me feel for poor Arden. He really had it tough. Poor guy. What else? Alright, Prompto. WTF to that. So like Prompto is suddenly an MT? What the? Where was the foreshadowing? The hints of this twist? Alright, that'd be a big nowhere because there were none. I am really struggling to accept this plot point. Like, it didn't really serve any purpose except to get the lift going at the end of Zegnorta's Keep. I mean, I'm sure there was supposed to be some big moral lesson there, how Noctis and everyone was all accepting of him being different. But, that lesson just went totally over my head because I was too busy going, what the? The thing I hate most about books, movies, or games is Deus Ex Machina. It's when something comes completely out of the blue to fix a plot problem. And for me, Prompto was it. It's just not cool, Square Enix. No deal. I still feel really awful about poor Ignis and his eyesight. I'm so sorry, buddy. I kind of was hoping that Luna would come back from the dead and fix that shit for you, but she just didn't, so I'm sorry. And Gladio. Gladio. Well, not sure I need to say anything really. You've heard it all along the way throughout the game. I am such a fangirl at times. And his ponytail at the end was so awesome. Love you, Gladiolus. I really like Noctis. I've heard he's like a better version of Cloud, but since I haven't actually played 7, I don't know too much about that and how true it is, but I did find Noctis a very convincing character. I thoroughly enjoyed going on this journey with him, I suppose, and watching him become ready to accept the fate, I guess, that was thrust upon him. He was really great. What else is there? Oh, where did all the secondary characters go? Am I the only one with this? We never see Iris again. I think Talcott mentions her when he picks up Noctis 10 years later, saying she's like some uber monster slayer now, but couldn't we have seen it? Why couldn't she have been at Hammerhead with the guys? I mean, that would have been cool to see, some kick-ass Iris. That would have been great. And Aranea, gosh, I still don't even know how to say her name and I finished the game. What happened to her? I mean, we know she quit the Imperial Army and ended up with helping the refugees in Tenebrae. But what the heck happened to her after that? We never hear about her, we never see her, and I really wanted to see her 10 years later, so disappointed on that front. And Cindy. I mean, we were at Hammerhead. Where was she? Why didn't we run into her? Did Square Enix just not want to think about a 10-year-old as Cindy? I mean, hey guys, her boobs would still be perky with that boob job, so she'd be fine, just saying. And what's that other guy's name? Kor. Yeah, Kor. We've met him at the First Royal Tomb, saw him for like a second at Kayam, and then nothing. I think there was mention of him in the 10 years later section, but seriously, it's like all these characters just ceased to exist or something. I don't know. It might just be me feeling this. Just let me know down below if you agree. So anyway, yeah, there are definitely things I didn't necessarily enjoy about the game, things I wish they could have improved on, but despite all that, I really love this game. It got me right in the feels, and I enjoyed all the characters. Ravis. Oh, they totally could have done more with Ravis. That was a bit of an interesting one. Oh, and the Emperor. It turns out he was that evil demon thing that kept stalking me in Zegnorta's Keep. You remember that thing starting with F? Yeah, He'd been turned into a demon. I mean, random much? No, that wasn't really explained. So the gameplay that you're seeing here right now is my monster hunting after the main quest line. I'm desperately trying to get my monster hunting rank up to 5. If you recall, I could hunt down the red lightning of Ravito at rank 5. You know, that huge bird's nest on the rock of Ravito that I found? You know, it had these huge bird eggs and then this huge like arena, but there was nothing there. I don't know for certain that that's what that nest was, but I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm going to grind through some more monster hunts until I can hunt it down. I'll show you bits and pieces of this gameplay. I mean, next up, I'll show you the scenes from what happens when you get back into the game after finishing it. Like, it's crazy. I can't believe what happens. Anyway, that's it for me, really. I might have missed a few points, but it'll do. Thanks so much for coming with me on this journey through Final Fantasy 15. Give me a thumbs up if you like the series, and let me know your thoughts on the game below. I'd love to know what you all thought. See you soon with another ep. Bye!